Autistic Genius here, just to let you know I'm doing another Whiteboard Talk this week to help you explain something in a very simple, just to help you explain it in a quicker way. Because I'm in a rush, I've got lots on. That's why I'm wearing the same t-shirt as I wore in yesterday's video, as I'm doing 2 videos in one day. So no, I am not a tramp. Today we are looking back at something that I talked about a while ago, which is of course, the incredible, the amazing. Theory of mind, of course, is putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, or in the autistic spectrum sense, the inability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. To put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you require some form of imagination. I'm not saying people on the autistic spectrum don't have imaginations, because they're very creative. But to see the world from somebody else's perspective, which is a very difficult thing for someone on the spectrum to do, you need to use imagination, which is why imagination is on the trial of impairments, because this is one of the areas it affects. The other thing that comes with this, which is very upsetting, because you're unable to see the world from somebody else's eyes, you are perceived to have a lack of empathy. Now, empathy is basically a word now when it's to do with feelings and being able to empathise with someone. So if somebody's upset, you can understand why they're upset and empathise with it, because you can. I don't understand it. I'm autistic, but as someone on the spectrum may seem to have a lack of empathy because they can't see the world through their eyes, which means that when they're upset, they won't know why they're upset. They won't understand why. The only way they will understand is if possibly they've had experienced the same issue. The neurotypical person's had something stolen from their bag. The autistic person sees they're upset and says, "Why are you upset?" And they say, "Somebody stole something from my bag." The autistic person will then go, "I know how that feels because it happened to me." If it hadn't have happened to the autistic person, it would be very difficult to explain to them why the person's upset, and they're just not going to get it. Does that make? I hope that makes sense. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about as well is the theory of mind as well. Another aspect of theory of mind is not being able to see the world from somebody else's eyes. It's also being to imagine other things being done in different ways. So if something's done a certain way, if you go somewhere else to do it and it's done a different way, that's very difficult to kind of comprehend. We'll have Aspie, and I'll put Aspie's house and school. Okay? Right. In Aspie's house there is a computer that he loves to play on. And he's got a computer, and yeah, there's a keyboard, and there's really rubbishly drawn keys. There, of course, is the computer mouse. Yeah, bro. And then he's got one of them, which is the desktop tower. Okay? Right there, that is the on switch. So the boy with Asperger's, or the the Aspie or Autistic's house will have a computer with an on switch there. Okay? So he is comfortable in the knowledge that when he goes home, he presses that button and the computer works. Yes? So he goes to school, where there is also a computer. Pretty much the same, keyboard, yeah, keyboard, bit of mouse, and then of course this bad boy here. Right, but the Aspie boy goes to switch the computer on. He looks at this, yeah, and there is no on switch. What happens? Well, to be honest with you, the on switch is just there on the monitor. The Asperger's person, this can cause panic if they're not in the right mood. This has potential to actually cause something that I hate having and haven't had for a long time, but will probably there's a meltdown. Why does this cause a meltdown? I'll tell you exactly why this causes a meltdown. His computer turns on by pressing a certain button, which of course is his tunnel vision. Oh, I hate that noise. So if his computer turns on a certain way, right, he's going to believe that all computers have an on switch there, potentially, and that's the tunnel vision. If he goes to school, right, and the computer's got an on switch in a different place, that automatically does this to his tunnel vision. It completely veers it off. So then, the on switch being there. Right, so what's happened is, essentially, the boy with autism thinks all on switches on the computer go that way. Yeah. But if he goes to school and it switches off there, it knocks it off. And what did we say in the one video? This doesn't exist. What you're experiencing here is essentially a very small thing that, yeah. But if you need to process. But for me, when this sort of thing happens, this is how I deal with it. I deal with this as a routine change, because he has a routine when he turns the computer on and he's unable to carry on with that routine. And it's confusing, but the reason why this fits into the theory of mind is that because you cannot see other people's perspective, you see your way of doing things, and that to you is the only way of doing things, because it's your perception. And only your way of doing something is the way that it's done. If you see someone do it in a different way, that can make you think, whoa. Because obviously everybody's different, everyone does things differently. Like somebody on the autistic spectrum, keep dropping things. You can only do things a certain way, the one way. Does that make... It's very complicated, it's very hard to explain, but that is the best I'm going to be able to do in the time frame I've got. Thank you all so much for watching. It's been phenomenal working with you again on another great week. I hope to see you again next week in more videos. Have a fantastic weekend and bye!